Shalom. Let's see, let's just pull up. Hey, Shalom. All right, Shalom. Before I get started with this live lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect, that's pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers. Shalom to the elect. All right. Back with another live lesson through the Holy Spirit. Rakah Quadash, pray this lesson is edifying. All right. And Thawada. All right. The audio and video is good. All right. That's awesome. All right. So I want to get into this thing. This topic here is news and prophecy, as I usually get into here. News and prophecy, you will literally own nothing. Prepare for the collapse. All right. Prepare for the collapse of this society. All right. All kingdoms, all empires on this earth had a rise and fall. All right. And we're in the fall of Babylon the Great, which is America, according to the Bible. All right. Now, not even wasting no time. Let's just get right into this thing, man. And Lord willing, you're informed and you're edified by this lesson. All right. Let me share my screen. All right. Bear with me. All right, yeah, we should be good now. All right, so let's get into it. All right, this is, grab the scripture real quick. So this is the book of Ezekiel chapter 12. And we're going to start at verse 21. And let's read this in the NLT too. All right. All right, so this is the book of Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse 21. And it reads, it says, Ezekiel 12:21 NLT, it says, again, a message came to me from the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, son of man. You've heard that proverb that they quote in Israel, time passes and prophecies come to nothing. Verse 23, it says, tell the people, this is what the sovereign Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai says, I will put an end to this proverb and you will soon stop quoting it. All right. Because the mindset of the average Jake out here, you know, pretty much the majority of you Israelites in the world, you feel as these prophecies are far off, you know, that these things won't happen in your lifetime. But when you take a look at prophecy and what's going on around the world in the news, these things are happening. All right. It says, I will put an end to this proverb and you will soon stop quoting it. Now give them this new proverb to replace the old one. The time has come for every prophecy to be fulfilled, right? And this is why, as we're going to go into as well, you know, 2024 has been deemed or coined the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, man. All right. When we tell you that this shit is going to get bad, this shit is going to get bad, Jake. All right. And we can't really describe it to you in words. All we can really do is prophesy unto you, man. And like the scriptures say, you know, whether our people hear or they forbear. All right. Because at the end of the day, if you don't receive it, if you don't believe, it's really on you. That's how the Lord had your story written. All right. So it says the time has come for every prophecy to be fulfilled. It says there will be no more false visions and flattering predictions in Israel. Yeah, no more lying, no more false prophecies, no more prosperity bullshit. All right. We're telling you that the times that are coming are going to result in lamentations, mournings, and woes. All right. Great judgment, great death, destruction, chaos in the streets, famines, pestilence. All right. Jeremiah, chapter 28 and verse 8, the prophets that came before us spoke of these same very things, man. The evils, the pestilence, all right, destruction against great kingdoms, etc. All right. These are the things that the Lord has set up for the future of America, for the future of the world. All right. So it says Ezekiel 12 and 24, there would be no more false visions and flattering predictions in Israel. Verse 25, it says, for I am the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. If I say it, it will happen. This is how we know that that prophecy dictates everything. Prophecy is faithful and true. The word of the Lord is faithful and true. If I say it, it will happen. There will be no more delays. You rebels of Israel, I will fulfill my threat of destruction in your own lifetime. You see that, Jake? This is the words of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. I will fulfill my threat of destruction in your lifetime. And you niggas out there, you seeing it. All right. But right now you want to be continue to be distracted with the bread and circus, the folly. All right. You got the Super Bowl madness, coming up. Everybody's worried about that, preparing for that, and here these things are going on right now. Destruction. All right. Great death. I will fulfill my threat of destruction in your lifetime. I, the sovereign Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, have spoken. Then this message came to me from the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. Verse 27, Son of man, the people of Israel are saying, he's talking about the distant future. His visions won't come true for a long time. And that's what you niggas really hope. All right. We go into it all the time. A majority of Jake, deep down inside, they really hope that we're wrong. All right. They really hope that what we're saying isn't true. All right. But we're here to tell you that, look, all these words that are being manifested are faithful and true from the Lord. All right. As he said, it's happening. All right. Verse 28 says, therefore tell them, this is what the sovereign Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, says, no more delay. I will now do everything I have threatened. I, the sovereign Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, have spoken. There you go, man. So the Lord, he said he was going to do everything that he's threatened, man, and it's happening. All right. Destruction is at the door. This thing, 2/3 are about to fall alongside with Esau and the rest of these heathen. And we're also in the time of the salvation of the very elect. All right. So enough talking. Let's just get into this thing. All right. Bring it out. All right. So this came out 5 hours ago. This is from the full spectrum survival. All right. This Edom might be going in. He does a lot of videos going into the times that we're about to enter into, which are going to be very, very serious, very deadly times. All right. So he brings it out. So the title of this video is Emergency Briefing. This is Scary Police Warning Radio Silence. All right. So let's just play through this and so many other clips I got too.
Guys, there's a couple of really bad things happening out there. There's reports coming in that police departments across the South and some in northern states are being told to stay quiet about terrorists and illegal immigrants that are coming in and doing harm to the people. I have just one of the reports. We're also getting them emailed and sent in to us, as well as people who are giving their own verification of who they are, saying this is happening right now. Let me read to you one of the reports that picked up some steam on some intelligence monitoring sites, also some open source intelligence gathering operators. I'm not even supposed to talk about this, is how it starts out, but I don't care anymore. We've arrested them. The Denver police have arrested over 50 different potentially terrorist members in the last few months. So with that said, we started talking about everything else. And we started talking about where's the budget going, how they don't have enough police vehicles, how they're going to be putting officers on foot. We started talking about all the migrants that have been coming over the border and how they're cutting into the budgets of police departments across America's major cities. This includes Denver. Then we started talking about how sleeper cells happen, how they are South Americans. Then we're talking about people from Central America, and now we're talking about people from China.
Yeah, so let's make a point about the sleeper cells. All right, because I had brought this out in the previous lesson that I did. All right. Because I personally think through the spirit that these sleeper cells are going to activate, pretty much martial law. All right. Because they're saying that these immigrants, these migrants are, robbing people, they're squatting on homes, all types of shit that's going on through these floods of immigrants that have entered into the gates of America, through the borders of America, man. So I think that's all going to be used as a catalyst to really bring forth the martial law and set off this so-called civil war. Let me make a point on that too. All right. Just bringing out this definition again. All right. The definition of sleeper cell. All right. It says a group of people, sleepers, who inconspicuously remain dormant in a community until activated. And as I was saying, this is why you're seeing all these floods of migrants being pushed into these major cities. All right. And a lot of them are disguised as migrants, refugees, but they're really foreign troops, foreign soldiers. All right. It says who inconspicuously remain dormant in a community until activated by a prearranged signal to perform acts of espionage, sabotage, and terrorism. See that? Now, that reminded me of that scripture in Ezekiel. Let me get that too. All right. This is Ezekiel chapter 23. All right. Which this chapter goes into the Lord's judgment. All right. So this is Ezekiel chapter 23 and verse 23. And it reads, it says, matter of fact, let's start up. Ezekiel 23 verse 22, it says, therefore, O Alibah, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Shem Shai, behold, I will raise up thy lovers against thee, from whom thy mind is alienated, and I will bring them against thee on every side. It says, the Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, Pekad and Shoah and Koah, and all the Assyrians with them, all of them desirable young men. Now, what's heavy is that all of these migrants that they've been catching on these videos, these are able-bodied young men, all right, that are war ready. Okay. It says all of them desirable young men, captains and rulers, great lords in renown, all of them riding upon horses. The point, verse 24. All right, because you're going to have that mixed multitude of these nations, these troops coming in here. They're already here, man, setting up sleeper cells. All right, they're being strategically placed in these cities, and they're waiting for what? The activation. All right, and a lot of these Edomites are aware of this. They see, they basically they smell the setup. All right, it says, and they shall come against thee with chariots, wagons, and wheels. All right, the troops. All right, the tanks. You see, it says, and with an assembly of people, which shall set against thee buckler and shield and helmet round about. Yeah, that's these foreign troops, man. All right. It says, and I will set judgment before them, and they shall judge thee according to their judgment. So Yahweh Shem Shai is going to allow these heathen to basically have their way with the people. Right. It's going to be a lot of you Jakes caught up in this judgment that's coming. All right. It says, verse 25, it says, and I will set my jealousy against thee, and they shall deal furiously with thee. See, they shall take away the noise. They shall take away thy nose and thy ears, and thy remnant shall fall by the sword. They shall take thy sons and thy daughters, and thy residue shall be devoured by the fire, man. So it's going to be chaos, man. Once they activate these foreign troops, these sleeper cells. All right. It says they shall also strip thee out of thy clothes and take away thy fair jewels. Right. So like I was saying, through the spirit, I think that, they're going to use these foreign troops to set forth the martial law, the chaos and disorder. All right. It says they shall strip thee out of thy clothes and take away thy fair jewels. Thus I will make thy lewdness to cease from thee, and thy whoredom brought from the land of Egypt, so that thou should not lift up thy eyes unto them, nor remember Egypt anymore. It says, for thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Shema Shai, behold, I will deliver thee into the hand of them whom thou hatest, and to the hand of them whom thy mind is alienated, man. So Yahweh Shema Shai basically is going to give, these troops that charge pursuing Isaiah the 10th chapter, man. He's going to allow these heathen to have their way with the people. All right. The point, verse 29, it says, and they should deal with thee hatefully. Right? This is what these troops are set up to do. And they shall deal with thee hatefully, and shall take away all thy labor, and shall leave thee naked and bare. And thy nakedness and the nakedness of thy whoredoms shall be discovered, both thy lewdness and thy whoredoms. Right. Let's go back. Now, before I go back to this video, I want to play this too. All right, just to show you how serious this is. All right, because it's right here. Same video I showed as well. All right, the sleeper cells are here. Let's pull that up.
Under questioning by FBI agents, New Yorker Ali Karani admitted in 2017 to being a member of something called Unit 910. It's the Black Ops unit of Hezbollah, controlled by Iran. Karani told agents he was trained to be a suicide bomber and was scouting targets in New York City. He's now in prison. Another Unit 910 member in prison this year, New Jersey resident Alexei alias Alex Saab, had also scouted potential targets around New York City. While the exact number of Hamas and Hezbollah sleeper cells operating within the United States is not known, a comprehensive study by George Washington University last year found the most Hezbollah activity in Michigan, New York, North Carolina, and California. If Americans are wondering if they're safe from the kind of attack Hamas carried out against Israel, terrorism experts say the answer is not encouraging. Former FBI Special Agent Eric Karen.
We have over 1,000 joint terrorism task force cases going on here in America today relating to Muslim extremists.
So far this year, authorities have caught 151 people on the FBI's terrorism watch list, trying to illegally enter the U.S. through the southern border. That's 50 times higher than 2 years ago. Most are coming through Panama's Darien Gap, where journalist Michael Yon says he's seen 3,000 to 5,000 migrants pass through every day on their way to the U.S.
I see a lot of Chinese coming through. Most of the people you see coming through are military-age males of any sort, right? I see Afghans coming.
You heard what he said. Most of the people that they see coming through the borders are military-age males. All right.
Afghans coming in by the thousands. I've had people come through that say they're from Gaza.
CBN News correspondent Chuck Holton has also reported from the Darien Gap and says he has no doubt dangerous persons are headed for the U.S. border.
I interviewed a guy from Afghanistan. We found many people from Somalia and Yemen. We found people from Syria, Iran. We have seen people coming through.
Former Agent Karen is especially concerned about America's ports, where Customs and Border Protection is supposed to scan every incoming container for radiation, but physically inspects only 3%.
We have 328 ports of entry into America. They all have to be secure, and many of them are soft.
Former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy warned this week that what happened in Israel could happen here. McCarthy said, "We should wake up ourselves. We could have the same thing happen next week to us. Our intel is never perfect, and we've got a wide open border."
The idea that they don't want to attack us again like a 9/11, but even bigger, is foolish. They want to attack us. They want to destroy America.
Dale Hurd, CD.
There you go. So all of these foreign troops are in the land. All right. Which makes the point that I brought out in Ezekiel. What was it? Ezekiel chapter 23. All right. All of these are military age men. All right. That are under this, the disguise of being migrants and refugees. All right, but they're all being strategically placed in these major cities for something to go down. All right. So I said this shit is gonna get real soon to come. So anyway, let's go back. Okay.
Of police departments across America's major cities. This includes Denver. Then we started talking about how sleeper cells happen, how they are South Americans. Then we're talking about people from Central America, and now we're talking about people from China, talking about people from the Middle East. The police know this, the state and local police know this, and they're not allowed to do a damn thing about it.
Exactly. They're not allowed to do anything because they need the chaos to happen, man. This is all set up by the elite, man. All to bring forth what? The order out of chaos. All right.
That's the video interview of the individual. So here's my question, especially for all of those who lean against this being any sort of major conspiracy. That's the person asking. Do you still think that what's happening is okay? Now, guys, we're starting to see some major military escalation take place across the world. Military forces from Iran, Russia, and China, they are going to be staging a new naval war game in the coming weeks. This is with the Iranian naval leader, the Commander Rear Admiral Shahrim Irani. He says, speaking at a naval base in Iran's northern city, that these exercises will be in direct opposition to the United States of America and to all of NATO's presence across the world.
Ooh, man. All right. That's Isaiah 13. All right. Right on time. Let's get that in Isaiah 13. All right. This is Isaiah 13. And straight to the point here. All right. Isaiah 13 in verse 4 says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains. All right. These are those nations. All right, that are preparing for war. All right, we understand that mountains represent major governments. So it says the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as a great people. All right, the war games, you can go online and see these nations, pretty much demonstrating their power, their force by numbers, when they do their marches and things like that. All right, these nations are ready to go to war with the West, pretty much America and NATO. All right. It says, like as a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, of hosts, mustereth the host of the battle. So this is the Lord riling everything up. All right. He's gathering the troops ready for the battle for World War III. All right. It says they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. All right. And that's the ICBM nuclear missiles. All right. Which are going to be shot from one end of the earth to the other. All right. Those missiles, they're going to come from a far country. All right. Because they have the technology that allows them, to travel faster than the speed of sound. They call them supersonic, hypersonic nuclear missiles, man, which were able to travel from one end of the earth to the other in under 30 minutes, 15 minutes, to destroy the whole land, Babylon. The point, verse 6, it says, howl ye, for the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, is at hand, and it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. All right, let's go back.
The commander noted that other countries are also invited to join with Russia, China, and Iran. The exercise will be held with the purpose of ensuring regional stability, security, and the fulfillment of common interests. It will take place all over the region. Moving forward, I want to remind you that they're telling you everything's okay with the economy. They're telling you everything's fine. Inflation's going down. Well, then why did mortgages just go back up? Why does your grocery bill cost more? The same basket of groceries that cost just $90 to $105 just a few years ago now costs almost $150. A pound of ground beef now costs almost $6. That's up from $3 and change. Prices for fresh fruits and vegetables almost 16 to 23% higher, according to Bloomberg. Now, for years, we have seen Americans stretched thin. They have made it cheaper for people to eat terrible and poison yourself than they ever made it to eat fresh. Eating good and eating healthy became a luxury just for the wealthy. According to a new recent report from the members of the U.S. Senate Joint Economic Committee, the average household, as you know, we reported on this earlier, needs $11,000 to $12,000 more per year just to maintain their standard of living, which already sucked back in the year 2021. The analysis is now showing that the Consumer Price Index and consumer expenditure surveys are grossly deflated from their actual numbers. The chairman of One Institute for Shared Economic Prosperity, which is a think tank, has said that we are just at the beginning here. Americans actually require $14,000 to $20,000 more per year just to maintain their cost of living.
Ooh, hey, people are finished, man. All right, I go into that all the time. You know, people are really struggling, man. It's for real. All right, rent has gone up, double, triple over the past year or two. All right, just to add on to that. Okay, this came out, I believe, yesterday, 2 days ago. This is from the AP News. It says a record number of Americans can't afford their rent. Lawmakers are scrambling to help. All right, and who is this going to affect the most? Jake. All right, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and Hispanics. Okay. Just going to read a little bit here, and I'll grab a scripture. So it says, single mom Caitlin Colbert watched as rent from her 2-bedroom apartment doubled, then tripled, and then quadrupled over a decade in Denver from $750 to $3,374 last year. Every month, like millions of Americans, Colbert juggled her cost, pay rent or swim team fees for one of her 3 kids, right? Because it's to the point where now you're going to have to make, real life decisions. You're going to have to sacrifice something, right? Pay your rent or pay for your kids' sports, or pay this bill or get groceries, things like that. Everybody's being put into these scenarios here. It says pay rent or swim team fees for one of her 3 kids, rent or school supplies, rent or groceries. See, Colbert, a social worker who helps people stay financially afloat, would often arrive home to notices giving her 30 days to pay rent and a late fee or face eviction, right? It says every month you just got to budget and you still fall short. She said, adding what became a monthly refrain. Well, this month, at least we have $13 left. Millions of Americans, especially people of color, right? Like we said, that's you, Jakes. Millions of Americans, especially people of color, are facing those same painful decisions as a record number struggle with unaffordable rent increases, a crisis fueled by rising prices from inflation, a shortage of affordable housing, and the end of the pandemic relief, right? Let's grab that in what's that, Haggai 1:6. All right. Yeah, that's right, brother. Hey, heat or eat through. All right. This is Haggai 1:6. It says, you have sown much and bring in little. All right. Jake working overtime, double overtime, got 3 to 4 jobs, and you barely bringing it in. All right. You have so much and bring in little. You eat, but you have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes, man. All right. So people are struggling, man, like hell. Okay. The money that they make, that they're barely making, is coming in and going out, and you have nothing left over. You don't have a nest. You don't have a savings account. All right. Everybody's in an extreme amount of debt. All right. Credit card payments through the roof. And now people are questioning how the fuck they're gonna live, how they're gonna make it, man. There's so many videos on the internet I've seen over the past weeks of people just questioning what's the point of fucking working, man. You know, why do I even need to go to work when I'm not even going? I'm barely making it. You know, these millennials, Generation Z's questioning the idea of the American dream, because people are figuring it out now. They came to that realization that this shit is nothing but a nightmare, man. All right, this place wasn't set up for you to prosper, as it told us that in Micah the 2nd chapter, that this place is not your rest. Right, Isaiah 24, real quick. All right. Just grabbing these scriptures on the go. Isaiah 24. All right. Isaiah 24, verse 9, it says, they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down. And this is why I said you have to prepare for the collapse of the society. All right. As these elites said, you know, you will own nothing and be happy. And that's literally happening right now. All right. As we get further into this lesson here, it says the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. There is crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. And people are crying and sighing, man. Right? People can't figure out what the hell is going on. Why are they struggling? Why they can't, you know, why they're not making it. This is why everybody's putting their whole spirit into this election. You know, everybody, you got niggas and Edomites alike crying for Trump as if Trump is going to save the day and restore things back to normalcy. You know, you see all you Jakes out there, you put your hope in everything outside of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And that's what the Lord said. Your trust in Egypt is going to lead you to what? To your shame and confusion. And people are going through it right now. All right. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is dark, and the mirth of the land is gone. Yeah, people are not happy, man. People are depressed, suicidal. All right. I believe this past year, you know, suicides were through the roof. I think this was like the most suicides ever recorded in America past 2023. So that's all, once again, these are all signs of a declining society, man. All joy is dark and the mirth of the land is gone. All right. The American dream, the American pride. All you got to do is go to college and get a good education, and you can find you a fantastic job and raise a family. That's all bullshit, man. Okay. It says, and that's why they even came out that now they're saying certain jobs are not even requiring college degrees anymore. So think about all the people who got into debt and took out loans to get through school and medical school and shit like that to get that piece of paper. And here it is now. They're saying there's certain high-level jobs saying that, look, you don't even need the degree anymore. All right. So this place is finished, man. Verse 12, it says, and the city is left in desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction.
The basic costs of good are going up. I don't want to dive too much into this. We know how bad it is. You know how bad it is. But let's keep on moving. It's being reported that the following quote is directly from the U.S. Federal Reserve chairperson. Now, I want to remind you, this is the guy who's making the decisions, party to the decisions anyways, on how your debt is spent. How many years are your children going to be enslaved in the future? He says U.S. debt is growing faster than the economy. The U.S. is on an unsustainable fiscal path. Now, folks, this is the actual Fed chairperson saying this in these reports. If he says it's bad, you can bet you're behind. It's 2 to 10 times worse. Now, telecom firms that are linked to UN-recognized governments say they have absolute proof that Middle Eastern enemies to the United States of America are right now planning to sabotage a network of cables that are critical to the functioning of Western governments' internet and the transmission of financial data. Remember, I told you in yesterday's video that there was a warning of some sort of digital attack, cyber attack. It was something that was going to come out in a
Right. Salakia, hold on.
planning.
Yeah, it's glitching on me a little bit. Hold on. I want to go back and play that, because these are the things that the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushua will warn you about. Hold on. And Salakia, I pray this don't start acting up on me. All right. Give me a second. Let's play that back again because he said a mouthful there. All right.
Who's making the decisions, party to the decisions anyways, on how your debt is spent. How many years are your children going to be enslaved in the future? He says U.S. debt is growing faster than the economy. The U.S. is on an unsustainable fiscal path. Now, folks, this is the actual Fed chairperson saying this in these reports. If he says it's bad, you can bet you're behind. It's 2 to 10 times worse. Now, telecom firms that are linked to UN-recognized governments say they have absolute proof that Middle Eastern enemies to the United States of America are right now planning to sabotage a network of cables that are critical to the functioning of Western governments' internet and the transmission of financial data.
Yeah. So that's heavy because as we just said, as we just talked about, the sleeper cells, waiting to be activated, things of that nature. When they cut this internet, all right, it's going to, first of all, the internet is done. And then on top of that, the banking systems are going to collapse, which is going to result in what? The money collapsing, man. You see? So this thing is here, man. We told you that these troops, all right, these sleeper cells are here. Something is bound to happen. The big event that I keep going into, that I keep speaking about, man. All right. This is what we are waiting on, man. This shit is about to pop. All right. Real quick. 2 Ezra 16 and 17. When it reads, it says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? All right. All hell is going to break loose throughout America, man. If they cut this internet, like we've been prophesying, that some type of EMP attack, all of this subliminal programming that Esau's been putting out through these movies of a blackout, an EMP attack, them cutting the internet, a financial collapse, shit is going to get ill out here, Jake. All right. These are all the beginning of sorrows, great mournings, and great death and war, man. All right. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, man. These are the penalties, the judgments that are coming, man. Okay. The point, verse 20. But for all these things, they should not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Right. All of this shit is happening under Jake's nose, and people are not even mindful of this thing. They don't even consider. All right. You got to understand that these chain of events are going to really, fuck shit up. All right. People are going to really be in dire straits at that time. That's why we went into the lesson at camp saying that pretty much faith is what's going to get us through the straits, man. All right. Your faith is really going to be tested when these things happen. All right. And we know how our people are. Niggas don't want to believe nothing unless Esau's saying it. Right. Well, here it is. You got all these resources coming out, the news, all that, letting you know the very things that we've been prophesying unto you for years. Right. So now you better take heed and pay the fuck attention. All right. It says, I'll read a little bit more. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that shall dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, man. So there's no way out, right? If you're not part of the elect of Yahweh Shem Awashai, you're going to be destroyed in these times, man. Okay, you're going to be caught up in the plagues and the judgments of the Lord. All right, this is a very serious matter. All right.
The U.S. is on an unsustainable fiscal path. Now, folks, this is the actual Fed chairperson saying this in these reports. If he says it's bad, you can bet you're behind. It's 2 to 10 times worse. Now, telecom firms that are linked to UN-recognized governments say they have absolute proof that Middle Eastern enemies to the United States of America are right now planning to sabotage a network of cables that are critical to the functioning of Western government's internet and the transmission of financial data. Remember, I told you in yesterday's video that there was a warning of some sort of digital attack, cyber attack. It was something that was going to come out and affect your ability to make transactions. This might just be it. The warning came from an enemy-linked Telegram channel. They published a map for all of their group members to see of where the influential or the weak parts of the cables running along the Red Sea are. The image was accompanied by a message. These are the maps of the cables connecting all regions of the world. It seems that Yemen is again a strategic location. All internet lines that connect entire continent.
Not all local roofers are.
Shalakia. Let's let this pass. All right. Matter of fact, before I play it, let's grab a scripture. All right. This could be it, as he said. All right. This is Jeremiah 30:1, and it reads, it says, the word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, saying, thus speaketh the Lord, power of Israel, Yahweh Shema Shai, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, save the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah. All right, because we're in the time of salvation. Okay. Saith the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave their fathers, and they shall possess it. And these are the words that the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. All right. You tribes, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and Hispanics. All right. So the Lord is basically telling you to take heed to what he's telling you. All right. For thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. All right. Showing you that what bad times are on the horizon here. Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. All right. Showing you that just giving you an example of the dire straits that are getting ready to come upon our people. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And he is going into the elect. All right. So this time is going to be like a time like no other, man. All right. Just use your imagination. What you think is going to happen if they fucking cut the internet, man? EMP or something like that. A banking collapse where you can't even go have access to money and go to the bank, get money out the ATM. How do you think the people are going to respond to that? Especially you Jakes. It's going to be a time like no other, man. People are going to fucking lose it. All right. It's going to be death all throughout the streets, man. Panic. People are going to be rushing the stores, swiping shit off the shelves, people getting trampled. It's going to get crazy. All right. You got to imagine that, man. Hey, like the scriptures say, for that day is great, so that none is like it, man. And here it is. All these scenarios are being presented right here, man. This is prophecy. Okay. And this is what, and really, this is what these Edomites are prepared for, man. They're the ones that's doing all the doomsday prepping. They got the bunkers underground. They got the fucking retreats off in the woods. They've been buying up all the ammunition and guns, right? They've been having their little powwows, different groups of families coming together, speaking about these things that this Edomite is bringing out. You see what I'm saying? But it's you Jakes that are not privy to what's going on. You're the ones that's going to get caught up in the slaughter, man. Right? That's why the scriptures say, let's get that too. Prudent man, right? This is Proverbs. All right. This is Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 3. And it reads, it says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil right? To have prudence means to have wisdom. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. All right. And we're going to hide ourselves through the knowledge of the Lord, through this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right. Isaiah 33 and verse 6 tells us that wisdom and knowledge shall be thy stability of thy times, and the fear of the Lord his treasure. All right. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. A lot of you niggas will get punished, man. You didn't want to listen. You thought this was just a conspiracy theory, a fear mongering, whatever excuse you make to not deal with the reality at hand. Right? A lot of you Jakes are going to be punished. Proverbs, right? This is Proverbs 1 and 29. It says, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. They would none of my counsel. They despise all my reproof. Yeah, 2/3 despise all the counsel and reproof, correction that came from their power. All right? Niggas shunned the word. Niggas ignored it. I ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't believe in that book. The white man wrote it. Bunch of mythology. Jake comes up with all types of excuses to not deal with the prophecies, to not deal with correction. Verse 31, therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. Yeah, Jake is going to do whatever he want to do, man, at the end of the day, regardless of if the truth is right in his face. That's why the scriptures say whether they hear or they forbear. And the Lord gave 2/3 up to their own devices. All right? Jake will fight you to not adhere to the words of the Lord. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them. You see that? For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. The point, verse 33, but whoso hearken unto me shall dwell safely. All right, so whoever's hearkening and listening to Yahweh Shema Shai is the one that's going to dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil.
Entire continents, not just countries, pass near or through it. Now, the telecom giants that are watching over this data say that there is a large percentage that this information was meant to be delivered to recipients who would go out and weaken the world's ability to communicate. Guys, if you need a backup plan, make it right now. With your family, with your friends, if you can no longer check the internet, make a phone call, get a text message, receive an email, you need to know where to go when that happens. You have to remember that you might notice it at hour zero. Your daughter, your son, your kids, your wife, whoever it might be, your grandparents, they might not notice it for hours. So you need to have a plan in place that if you notice it at hour zero and you begin trying other types of communication, you know where to go. You know who to start checking in with. Do you all know to meet at your house or the Graham's house or a central location if you're out? And then how long do you stay there? Because remember, they might not notice it for hours. Then what do you do next? Do you move to another location? Do they know where that next location is? You gotta use your tinker thinker here, and you've got to start making those plans. Poland right now is making plans, but theirs are for a war with Russia. They say they are now preparing for a near imminent threat of a war with Russia, according to the defense minister. They have said that the country must urgently get ready for this threat. This interview was published this week. They were asked by newspaper agencies whether they considered Russia's military defeat of Ukraine and a subsequent invasion of Polish territory a possibility. They say the military is now expecting every scenario, and we take the worst ones the most seriously. That's what it's about, right? Being prepared. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. You take seriously the fact that we are looking at an overwhelming crisis, series of crisis events, a whole bunch of other things that are happening right now, and you do what you can to get ready. Now, Russia just came out, and Russia just said that the United States of America is creating or has created a super pandemic. What could that even mean, a super pandemic? We might be talking about something that has a 90% kill rate and a 100% rate, but they've already shown that they can create something and give an antidote. Now, they might be giving influential people these antidotes. They might be giving certain background types, government, critical government agencies these antidotes. What you can bet is that it's not going to be you or me that gets it. That is, of course, without being a servant to exactly what they want. So what do you do instead? You need to have your own form of sustainable planning. That plan, if there is such a thing as a super pandemic, like Russia says, that plan will keep you out of the way in all ways possible. Because there's no if I get it when it comes to that. If they created something that knocks out everybody, if you get it, you die. And nobody wants that. We're here to prepare. We don't have any room for fear. Now, 70% of Americans in the USA believe that the United States of America is on a rapid decline into revolution, rebellion, or some form of collapse.
Yep, that's exactly right. Let's grab some scriptures on that real quick. All right. Let's grab that one in 2nd Ezra. Actually, I got 2 of them. All right. Just going in the spirit here. Let's get that one in 2nd Ezra 14. All right. Hey, Esau is bringing it out. All right. This is 2nd Ezra 14. And let's go to verse 13. All right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse 13. And it reads, it says, now therefore set thy house in order and reprove thy people. It says, comfort such of them as be in trouble. Right. And see, through the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we're giving our people the solution. We're giving our people the comfort that, look, don't worry. All right. Have faith. Believe that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to cover us in these times of great evil. All right. The Lord said he was going to be with us until the end of the world always. All right. Faith is going to get us through the straits. And you got to believe that. Comfort such of them as be in trouble and now renounce corruption. It says, let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off the weak nature. And this is why this is the time that we gird our loins as men. All right. It says, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. So, hey, it's going to get worse before it gets worse. All right. Greater evils are coming. Verse 17. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. All right. Because we live in the most demonic time in history, man. All right. Each year has gotten extremely worse. Evils are increasing. The mindset of the people are waxing worse and worse. All right. It says, for the time is fled far away, and leasing is hard at hand. For now hasten the vision to come, which thou hast seen. Right. So it's going down, man. All right. However you want to look at it, man. All right. The will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will be fulfilled. 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter here. It says, 2nd Ezra 9:1, he says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And how do we measure the time diligently? Through the scriptures, man. By the way of prophecy, man. Okay. What's written in the scriptures, and we measure it on what's going on in the world. These current events that are being laid out here. Measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, which we see that. Clearly, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is on his way back. All right. The point is, says, therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, all right, as we're seeing the uproars, the revolutions, the sedition of men, the people don't trust their governments, all right, the earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes, tornadoes, all right, these natural disasters have been turning up. Okay, we're seeing these things. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. All right, as I said earlier, every empire, every kingdom had a rise, and every kingdom and empire had a fall. All right, And we are witnessing the fall of America, Babylon the Great. All right.
Survey revealed that while 60% of adults are somewhat optimistic about the country in the year 2050, so 30 some years from now, 20 some years, they begin to be optimistic about what the country is going to be like. This optimism wanes when respondents are asked about specific aspects of American life. For instance, a majority of US adults predict that the US economy in 30 years will be worse than it is today. 6 in 10 adults believe the country will be less important in the world than it is today. And that just goes to show you exactly how bad things are right now. Everybody knows that it's about to get worse. Americans are skeptical.
Yeah, it's about to get worse. And that's the tells you that Isaiah 19, that the spirit of Egypt is failing, man. All right. Get that real quick. Bear with me. Computer's dragging. Bear with me 1 second. All right, there we go. So this is I'll start at the top here. Isaiah 19:1, it says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. All right, Yahweh Shemel Shai is coming back in that fathership, along with the host of heaven, the angels. And the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother. This is why you have this border crisis going on in Texas. You know, pretty much Texas splitting from the government. All right. 25 other states backing up Texas. All right. You got the borders are out of control because those Edomites down there realize that they're basically being invaded. You know, they see the setup. Okay. So this is all going to result in what they call a civil war. All right. People are ready to die for Trump. You can read it all in the news. I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. Right. And that's another sign of what of the downfall of America, man. All right. In-house fighting, destruction from within. The point, verse 3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. You see, people don't trust shit, man. Right. People, hey, you got these Edomites that have come to the realization that, look, it doesn't matter who you vote for. All right. They both play for the same team. You see what I'm saying? You know, they don't trust the doctors. They don't trust anything that's on the news. You know, it's a dying spirit, man. The confidence is failing in this place. The pride of America is gone. You know, the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to idols, into the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and into the wizards, right? You know, there's a lot of people tapping into witchcraft, sorcery right now. You know, other means, you know, outside of the Lord, so to speak, you know. So the point is that this place is about to lose, man. All right, let's play a little bit more, and I got a few more articles here, and we'll wrap it. Just want to put that out there.
About the United States of America's ability to ensure equality, and even these polling outlets know what's up. It's all about war and the wars to come. They're reporting that China and Russia, even though they are spending less than America because we have a very corrupt military industrial complex, they are spending less, but they are modernizing their militaries with advanced weaponry and techniques and technology. And they say through their interventions, they have offset the United States of America's perceived threat. Now, we talked about this just a little bit the other day. The Japanese self-defense forces and the U.S. military, they have now named China as an enemy for the first time ever in an exercise that's meant to battle China. These are over concerns on a potential invasion of Taiwan. The war game began on February 1st. America's perceived threat.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can watch the rest of that on your own. I don't know why this is glitching like that, but you know, Lord willing, you were able to get most of it. So I want to move on just real quick. I didn't want this lesson to be too long. Just want to make these points, right? Because back to the point of the title of this show, all right, you will literally own nothing. All right, let's get into that real quick too. Just as you heard from this guy here from the Full Spectrum. Let's make this point here. All right. So I brought this out yesterday at camp, speaking on this article here. It says UN secretly working with banks to destroy American food industry. All right. So the famines are coming, man. All right. The Lord said he was going to break the staff of bread. Right. So it says farmers are under attack in multiple food producing nations now. It says on a video that showed empty stores in France, where a climate agenda threatened the production process for farmers, and they more or less staged a strike. All right. So I guess it was on Twitter here. Supermarket shelves in France and Belgium are starting to be empty. No farmers, no food. All right. There's videos of tractor trailers on the highway protesting, farmers protesting, you know.
L'idée, il commence à tomber en rupture de stock. Plus de marchandises grâce à la grève. Continuez les gars comme ça, vous allez bientôt atteindre votre objectif.
So pretty much these are the same things that are getting ready to happen in America, right? Just going to read a little bit more here. So it says in just recently, Germany, farmers blocked highways in protest over costly and unnecessary agriculture policies. Now, however, there's a new campaign against farmers in which the United Nations works with banks to debank the food producers, closing their accounts and not allowing them to operate their businesses. This report is from News Addicts, which explained officials from 12 U.S. states have sounded an alarm after finding out that unelected globalist United Nations is secretly working with banks to destroy the American farming industry. See? Let me go back to Isaiah 19. All right. As Isaiah 19:4 says, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. And see, and really, this is all the will of Yahweh Shema Shai, but at the same time, you know, the Lord is using that left hand, going back to the elites, to bring forth the squeeze on society. All right, to take away the money, to take away the food. All right, pretty much to take away your whole way of living, man. All right, this is why these devils said that. Look, you will own nothing and you will be happy, man. All right, they're literally taking your life from you. All right. Real quick, let me grab this.
You want to get ahead of the curve. Their whole agenda here is to wipe out your wealth. You've heard the term, the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. They're going to take all your wealth from you and steal it, and I can tell you exactly how. One, if you're in crypto, all crypto is going to get outlawed and go to zero as soon as they put their CBDC in place. I told everybody once they had the infrastructure in place in July, which happened, that's the only thing they were waiting on to collapse the dollar. When they put their CBDC in place, they're not going to allow competing crypto to exist because their whole agenda is to have total control over your finances. It's a programmable digital currency. They can tell you where you can spend it. That's how they're going to wipe out most small and medium business owners, because they'll just program your money where you can't spend it at Bob's hardware store. You can only spend it at Walmart. So they're going to consolidate all goods and services in the hands of a few.
Yeah, so pretty much money is going to be worthless. They're about to crash this thing, and they already got the CBD infrastructure in place. And this is all, you know, predicated to the Charagma, the MOTB. All right. So there will be no more use of paper money, man. All right. Proverbs 11:4 says, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. Exactly. All right. And people are going to find that out. That your money, your bag ain't gonna mean shit in that day. All right. Proverbs 10:2. All right, this is the book of Proverbs 10 And 2, it says treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness deliver of death. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. All right, let me get that one in Ezekiel 7. All right, we can start at let's start at 10 and read down. The point is in 19. All right, Ezekiel 7 and 10, it says, behold, it has come, the morning is gone forth, the rod has blossomed, pride hath budded. It says, violence is risen up into a rod of wickedness, none of them shall remain, nor of their multitude, nor of any of theirs, neither shall there be wailing for them. The time is come, the day draweth near, let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn, for wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. You see? For the seller shall not return to that which is sold, although they were yet alive. For the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof, which shall not return, neither shall any strengthen himself in the iniquity of his life. They have blown the trumpet even to make all ready, and the trumpet is being blown by the way of the prophets. The warnings are going out, but none goeth to battle. For my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. The sword is without, and the pestilence and famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. See? But they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves of the valleys, all of them mourning, everyone for his iniquity. Right? Imagine when they let loose an EMP or they shut the internet down, man. Imagine the mindset of the people in that time. All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon their heads. Man, people are going to be finished. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. That's the money. All right, showing you that money will be completely worthless. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity, right? So people ain't gonna know what to do. They're not gonna have any solution, man. And they're gonna be presented with death and destruction. All right. You know, and that's why, as I said, you know, when these things happen, prepare for things like this to get worse. All right. Brought this out before, but it says psychopathic behavior on the rise as society descends into free fall collapse. Right. That's why I said, you know, you will literally own nothing and prepare for the collapse of society, man. Okay. These things are going down. All right. I'm just going to read this briefly and we'll wrap it up, you know, just to seal the deal here. But it says, over the past 10 years, there's been a dramatic uptick of mass violence and theft across the country. The advent of social media is fueling these types of incidents, which can now be organized quickly and efficiently online with large numbers of people. Riots, looting, and other uncivil behavior are fast becoming a hallmark of the new America, which is basically a third world country where the gap between the haves and have-nots is growing exponentially, due to part to inflation and other forms of financial terrorism. You see that? So when people don't have anything to lose, they're going to lose it, man. Because really, the way the society is going, people really don't have anything to live for. So when these things get worse, man, it's right. It's just going to get crazy. It says, let's jump down. It says, in other cases, actual psychopaths who simply want to commit violence are exploiting the chaos of all the political and financial turmoil to harm innocent people, which is how social breakdown really starts to pick up speed. It says, if no one acts to eliminate the first wave of criminal actions during a social breakdown, then thousands of other criminals will also move to take advantage. Zero Hedge reports, the first wave becomes an avalanche, all because the system no longer provides sufficient incentives to behave. Yeah. And that's Second Ezra is what, the 15th chapter, right? Real quick, Second Ezra 15. And 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there should be sedition among men, and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, right? Because you're going to have a time of lawlessness, man. As we heard in the video, man, the lack of police. There's not enough police. There's not enough police force on the ground, to handle these scenarios. Then you got all of these foreign troops that are disguised as migrants and immigrants and refugees that are going to set this shit off. Crime waves, break-ins, right? It says a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able to. And that's why I said through the Spirit, I believe that's going to be used to set that off, to set off the martial law, all right, to bring forth the societal lockdown. It says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, right? So if shit is bad now, just wait until they collapse this thing, man. You see that? Matthew 24. All right. Matthew 24 in verse 12, it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Okay. This is why we're witnessing people bugging the hell out right now, man. Psychopathic behavior. People are on all types of drugs, man. Got all these different, all this technology, all of this shit in their body, man. People are just consumed with demons, man. So this is the time of the end. All right. It says, Shalakia. Let me go back to that scripture and finish it out. It says, Matthew 24 and verse 12 again, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. There you go. So, hey, at the end of the day, it's going to require faith to make it through these times, man. Faith is going to get us through the straits. All right. So that's pretty much it, man. All you brothers and sisters out there, you get it. You see what's happening. It's directly in your face. All right. You can't ignore it. You can't run from it. Now it's time to deal with it, man. All right. So I'll leave it like that. The water for all the precepts from you brothers. It's going down. Just continue to prepare for the great event, man. For the end of this thing. All right. So pray this lesson was informative and edifying. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who taught me this truth. Double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect. Let's pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.